Hey friends, it is Becca with Beautiful Mess Plans. Today I am filming a week doing the writing challenge. So call it what you want, call it NaNoWriMo, just call it Rough Draft Challenge, call it just writing a book, whatever you want to call it. It is November, so for those that don't know, November is National Novel Writing Month, so the goal is to write a novel. Now, there's lots of controversy and drama and all that involves NaNoWriMo, the organization. You can look it up for yourself if you're interested. My only association over the years has ever been really using their tracker. So kind of cutting ties and walking away, not that big of a deal to me. However, and I had been doing it for quite a while. However, I'm still trying to aim at about 50,000 words. If I get less than that, I think I'm okay, just because this month is crazy busy. But all that aside, I thought we'd vlog style this week about writing. So I thought take you along for the journey of trying to get words in, how I'm using my notebook, and yeah, so I don't know how this is going to go exactly because I don't commit all of my time to writing because I am currently working on a lot of orders. So there's a little bit of mix where I'm like writing and also cutting orders at the same time, because I don't always have time to just devote to writing. So we're just going to go with it. And, it is what it is. So it is currently the 11th. Happy Veterans Day to any veterans out there. But, which by the time you see this, it's like way past, but you get the idea. So it is currently the 11th. I am at 17,079 words. And if you're going by the 50,000 words in a month track, the goal at this day would be to be at 18,337. So I'm a little shy of that goal, but I haven't written it all today. My goal is to continue to stay above that. I got a little bit above. I had a little bit of not quite a double down day on Saturday, because I didn't quite double my words, but I did get a little bit further ahead yesterday, not so much. And we'll see how today goes. It's pretty busy Monday. It's already 11:21. I've been got my kids to school, went to the grocery store, been working on orders. So I don't know how much writing I'm going to be able to do, but at least to maintain. My goal is like 18,500, which stays above where I need to be, but not by much. So it would be great if I could get a little higher than that. But I don't know. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I think I might spend I said it's 11:22, maybe the next half an hour just devoted to writing, and then I can spend the rest of the afternoon cutting orders, because I need to do that. That's a pretty big priority right now. Sorry, there was something that was bothering me. And yeah, so that is where we're at. I guess I could flip you around and I can show you. So, okay, I talked about this and I've shown this. This is the my Sterling ink notebook. I currently have it in this. It's a Chic Sparrow tin cover it's a B6 size. I think I don't even remember the name of this cover. I got it long time ago, and I think I got it on like one of those Imperfect sales or something. I don't know. But I put it in here so I could keep my little notepad. I can put my cute little bunny sticky notes and have my pen. And then I have my pen, favorite pens, which, by the way, in case you don't know this, it's a Zebra Blend and it's a 0.5. I never talk about my favorite pens in like any of my video, but this is the pen I love and I use it for everything. And then I also have a highlighter that I keep with me, which is a mild liner in beige, just because I picked a random color that I had multiples of that I could give to this project. So I had to finish my outline, and I'm trying something different, this NaNoWriMo, that I've never done before, which is kind of almost daily journaling. So I have, I've kind of played with it some. I modeled it after Sarah Cannon's. She does Heart Breathings. She did a Preptober workbook. I don't use the workbook, but I modeled it after her pages and I just write it down. So definitely go over and find her. She's much better source than me. Much better source. But I modeled my pages after the stuff that she had in her workbook. And I keep it pretty simple. So I just have my beginning word count and then words left to write. And then before I start writing, I have my intention for the day and my scenes to write, which I have since combined. Like early on, I had them in two different sections. Now I put them together basically because my intention is also my scenes. So I just group those together. And then for the first week or so, I had things that I'm loving about my story. I stopped doing that because that just felt repetitive. But I do a daily wrap up where I basically talk about whatever's on my mind, things that I think that I might need to fix, things that I'm struggling with, how I felt about the day, just kind of like to unwind. And then I have my word count for the day and a new total. So I'm doing that. I also have, and so I do that every day. And so I have daily pages for that. I do a weekly wrap up, which I will show you at some point better than I'm doing now. I also have my calendar where I'm keeping track of just the word counts each day and like what chapter I wrote. Not that that matters, but I don't know. And then of course I have the traditional word count tracker for the day. So you saw me writing for my beginning, like today's early entry, which is just my intention for the day. And I don't obviously do the daily wrap up until I'm done writing, but I probably should stop talking because I'm using my 30 minutes and I should probably use that 30 minutes to write. So I'm going to do that. And at some point I'll probably give you a better look at like the weekly wrap up. Maybe at the end of the week, I may not, because I do that on Sundays and sometimes it's a little hard to film when my entire family is home. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking because I need to get to work and I have a lot to do today. I have a lot to do this week in general. So let's just bring on the chaos by doing a vlog too. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so I wrote a little longer than a half an hour. It was probably closer to like 45 minutes, but I wanted to finish the scene at least. I did get more words in than I originally thought I was going to get in. I was aiming for like 18,500 words and I got 19,039 words, so I'm pretty pleased with that. And I got the scene done, which I try to not just go to word count, but I try to aim for finishing a scene, like not leaving it in the middle. I think there's only like two times that I've kind of left a scene, either because I was stuck or because like I had to stop doing it for whatever reason. But today I wrote just a little longer and I'm starving. And I got the scene done and I got a little bit more words than I was planning on, which is awesome and exactly what I was kind of hoping to do, honestly, which puts me at a little bit ahead. I'm not quite a full day ahead, but I'm not displeased with where I'm at. So I would love to get a day, maybe two ahead, because one, we're going to be going on a trip soon, a day trip, and I'm not going to write that day. And two, I kind of would like to not write on Thanksgiving, but there's still lots of time before Thanksgiving and there's still even a little time before our day trip. So it's possible that I can still kind of get a little bit of a lead. So we'll see. But I think that's all the writing I'm going to do today. So now I'm just going to fill out my journal. I'm going to fill out my word tracker. I'm going to do my daily wrap up. And then close that for another day and come back tomorrow. So I think that's all I have for today. So by the way, I think I mentioned this. I said it was Veterans Day. It's Monday. So yeah, I feel pretty good about the start of the week for Monday and where I got. Tuesday. So I sat down and I spent about 20 minutes writing this morning. I am currently at 19,947 words. So I'm just shy of 20,000 words, which is kind of nuts. Getting really close to the halfway point, since I'm kind of aiming for 50,000. And that feels really cool because I like when I hit the halfway point because something about that feels like, okay, we're on the downward path. It went pretty smoothly. I set a 20-minute timer, listened to my playlist, which I have a playlist on Spotify that's called like, I did not make it, I found it. It's called Driving Through the Mountains. And that's what I've been listening to while I write, because it kind of gives the right vibes for the story I'm writing, which I don't think I've really talked about at all. I tend to not talk about what I write. I don't really know why. I just don't. I will say that it takes place on a ranch in a small town. It's got a little bit of a mystery element to it. There's some romance. There's dealing with grief. So, yeah. At this point, though, I'm trying to just get the words on the page. They're not all going to be great. I don't know. I don't think I liked yesterday's words very much. I think I was kind of It did not come together the way I wanted it to, I should say. And I got about halfway through this chapter, the scene. Well, okay, I got through the first chunk of the scene for this chapter, and now I'm on to like still connected, so it's still the same chapter, but it's technically a new scene. So I want to finish that today. It's like a family dinner, Thanksgiving-y type scene that I'm writing. So my goal is to finish that today. I could take another 20 minutes and see if I can get a little bit more done now, and then I can just work the rest of the afternoon. I don't know. I'm trying not to push too hard that I get burnt out by writing like big chunks of time, but I did 20 minutes and I got, let's see, where was I at? I was at, let's do some math. I went the wrong way. I got 908 words written in my 20 minutes. I mean, granted, I was trying to figure out, I was having trouble with this first part, so I was a little bit slower. But I did get 908 words written. So if I could do another 908 for the second part of the scene, or for the second part of this chapter, I think I'd feel pretty good about that. So yeah, that's where I'm at today. I did not show writing in my journal this morning, but I basically just wrote down what my intention was today, which was to write the scene, and I'm hoping to get almost to 21,000. I don't think I'll quite make it there. Let's see. I could, if I write another 900 words in the second part of the scene, I could get there. I could get to almost 21,000, which would be really nice and would give me another, keep my lead a little bit. Today's goal, again, if you're staying on a 50,000 word track, today's goal would be to get to 2,004 words. I'm almost to that, but if I could get ahead of that and almost to the 21,000 mark, that would put me just like 600 shy of like where I should be tomorrow, which I feel like is a pretty decent lead. So I don't know if this is anyone is interested in this. I will tell you, I am not published. I have written several things. My husband's reading through one that's more novella type. And then he read through the one that I wrote last year, and I have some big plot stuff I got to do with that. And that's a different process of like, there's going to be some massive rewrites on that one. But I'm not focused on that this year. I will get back to it, I think, because I did really like the story. But I think for this month, I just wanted to work on writing something new, and then we'll go from there. So I am by no means an expert at this or published or whatever, but I would love to be one day. And I don't, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I do NaNoWriMo, and I've been doing it for years now. So, well, writing a rough draft, whatever. I was doing NaNoWriMo. Now I'm basically just trying to write a rough draft. I've kind of adapted my plan a little bit. My goal, I would love to get to 50,000, but I feel like I'm not trying not to feel that pressure that if I don't make it there, is if I can get a solid start on a rough draft, and then I can just keep going and see until I'm done with it into next month or even January if I need to, depending on how busy things get. Then I can be pleased with that and go from there. So the stress of trying to write 50,000 words just doesn't feel like something that I need, even though that is my ultimate goal. So we'll see. So yeah, I think I might do another 20 minutes, and then hopefully that'll get me through the end of this, because it's, by the way, it's 10:30, or technically 10:26. But so that would give me a solid like 40 minutes of writing time, which I'm hoping that will get me to the end of the scene, which is a good stopping point, and maybe get me where I want to be at. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I will check back in 20 minutes. Not that you'll know, because it'll be like immediately after, on where I'm at, how far I got in the process, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so I wrote slightly over 20 minutes, because I was like, I am almost done, but it was probably like maybe 25 minutes. But I did it, and I got myself to 20,930 words. So that felt really good. It actually feels like I just did this. Like, those words came really fast in that 25 minutes, and so that's like a really nice feeling. I look really tired today, though, I'm gonna be honest, which I didn't sleep well last night. So also I'm pleasantly pleased that it came together as well as it did, because sometimes when you're really tired, it's really hard to make your brain work. Obviously, by the fact that I can't seem to speak. But I felt really good. I mean, there's some words that are like some sections that I don't feel like kind of came together as well as I wanted to, like paragraphs, and it's kind of rough writing and all that. But overall, I'm pretty happy, and I feel like I got what I wanted out of this chapter, and the scene and all that was portrayed the way I wanted it to. So I wrote 1,891 words today, and my new total is 20,930. So I'm pretty pleased. I've already set up tomorrow's page. I usually do that when I finish writing, just so it's all set, and when I'm ready to kind of dive in for the day, all I have to do is write down my intentions for the day, and I don't have to set it up first, because I feel like when it's like, I gotta set this up, I gotta do this, I'm less likely to do it because I'm like dragging my feet not wanting to do it. So then I take the excuse out of it. So it worked pretty well. I actually enjoyed, I think, writing this morning a little bit more than I usually. Last week I was writing a little bit later on in the day, and I was doing it while I was working. But now I can just concentrate on my shop stuff, and the writing is done for the day. So that's not like nagging in my brain. That's like, I gotta do that. So yeah, that is where I'm at, and I feel really good about it. And maybe tomorrow we'll kind of take a look at my journal a little bit more, because I do need to get to working. But yeah, that's what I got. So I think it was a good day. What are we at now? What is the date? Day 12? I guess we're at day 12. It is the 12th. I don't know what's going on. But I feel good about it, and I think it went really well. So there we have it. Another day done. All right, it is Wednesday, and the lighting is like real shadowy because I have to have my lights on today. because it is real dark outside. But I thought I would take you on a little bit of a walk before I started writing through my writing book. So I have it in this, I talked about this before, in a Chic Sparrow. I don't know what color it is. I don't know anything about it. I bought it before I started really buying the Planner Perfect TNs off of their like Imperfect section. I don't even know if that still exists. I have not been on their website in a really long time, but this is what it is. So within my TN, I have my B6 Sterling Ink notebook. I have a notepad. I have these, they're sticky notes. I have some tabs. And yeah, so we'll do kind of a quick flip. I kind of talked about this before when I showed the notebook. This rubbed off on this, which is kind of annoying. Some said synonyms, which I've used a little bit, but I'm not overly concentrating on like making it perfect. So it is what it is. A few sticky notes. I have plot. I have just like brain dump ideas. I have vision board, character names, title ideas, and then we get into my character profiles. Which I have 4 down right now. I could probably write a couple others, but I left myself a couple pages. And then we get into the outline, and the outline goes, it's a chunk of pages. And, you know, I have random sticky notes and things like that. I am, just for reference, am about to this point of my outline. So it feels like I don't have a lot left and I still have over half the book to write, but, you know, we're getting there. And then I have my word count tracker, which is, I've been using this kind of tracker for years, and this is based off like writing 50,000 words. Again, whether I get there or not this month, I don't know. Man, it is so shadowy. And then I have a calendar that I drew out that I've been keeping track of how many words I write a day, except for one day when I wrote down the total. I did not write 11,000 words that day. Whatever, it's fine. And then like what chapters I've written. And then we get into my November dailies. I put a tab here. I have to tape it on because it wouldn't stay on. And so originally, and I mentioned this before, I basically used inspiration from Sarah Cannon's Heart Breathing's Preptober book. And I just write out my dailies. And then I obviously, you'll see later that I kind of adapt how I do it. I sound really tired. I am really tired. And I basically just stamped out using like one of those stamps that has the date stamps. I have my beginning word count, words left to write, and then I started with my intention for the day, scenes to write, and then I did also start with a word tracker, so like how many words I wrote in each session, my mood for the day, what I'm loving about the story, daily wrap up, total words for today, and new total. This obviously ends up changing. I decide that I don't really like the idea of doing the word tracker or the mood for the day. I didn't care. So then I started like this, where I just put words for the day, my intention, scenes, what I'm loving, daily wrap up, and then this. And so then it kind of gave me a pre-filled out, like I could basically make it for the day ahead. However, I soon found that this was basically the same thing, and I didn't know that I necessarily needed what I was loving about the story. I wasn't really getting much out of writing that down. I've also been doing a weekly wrap up, so I fill this out on Sundays. So I have my how I felt about the week, my word count for each day, and then my total for the week. What's working? How can I lean into this more? What's not working? How can I shift? Story problems I'm thinking through, and my intentions for next week. Again, this is all from that Preptober book that I mentioned. I think you have to sign up for her newsletter. You can find all that stuff. She's got a YouTube channel. You could probably Google Heart Breathings. She's a great source of information, and obviously she's published like a ton of books. So definitely a better source than me, but I'm just showing you how I do it. And then we get into another week. And then this is when I changed to just the intention for the day. So I'm just writing out like what I am wanting to, like what my goal is for the day, and then what scenes I'm writing for the day, and then kind of what I'm trying to get out of the scenes. And then after I write, so I do this part before I write, and then after I write, I do this part, which is my daily wrap up, either like how I was feeling about the day, what I was struggling with, what I'm having issues with, you know, whatever. And then my word count and my new total. And I've been doing this every day, and I feel like this is kind of helping me stay a little bit more focused. And then another weekly wrap up, and then we are now on day 13. So I figure I'll fill this out And then I'm gonna go get to writing because I probably should get some writing in today. I'm not really feeling it. I'm kind of like, feeling a little undermotivated. The weather's not helping. It is so rainy and cloudy out, which is why I had the lights on, which is why it's very shadowy right now. But the weather is certainly not helping. I sat on the couch much longer than I should have just now, doing nothing, doom scrolling. But I'm going to get my booty into gear because I have orders to cut, and I want to get my word count in for the day early on. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I look a little rough today, and that was because like I said, it was rainy and I had to go out in it, and so we're just gonna ignore that. Okay, so I did about two 20-minute sessions, a little bit less in the last session, and I got 1,430 words. So I didn't quite hit my goal of hitting total word count just shy of 23,000. I got to 22,360. However, I got to a good stopping place, so I stopped. But I'm not loving how the chapter came together. I feel like it could definitely use some work. I like the end of the chapter because it was kind of a fight that brewed and kind of moves us forward story-wise, but I didn't set it up earlier in the chapter very well. So, I mean, I could potentially go back and kind of play with that a little bit. So I definitely know that that's an area that needs some work for sure. But I did get my word count in for today, which is good because, like I said, not really feeling it today. It's just so like bleh, outside. It lightened up just a little bit that I don't have to turn on any lights at the moment. So better than it was, I guess, we'll take the win. And, yeah, so that's where we are. I think I'm done writing for today, unless it really starts to bug me, and then I'll look back at that chapter earlier in the chapter and see if there's stuff I can fix now. But I'm trying not to edit as I'm writing. That comes later in the revisions and all that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's currently 11 o'clock. So now I have the rest of the day to work on my shop stuff, and that's done. So yeah. Day 13 in the books. All right, it is Thursday, the 14th. So we are on day 14 of writing. I just sat down and I had a 20-minute session. I've been breaking them down into 20-minute sessions. There's a really bad reflection from my glasses, and I apologize if that's distracting, but I'm facing the windows, so sorry. Obviously, I decided to have a change of scenery, and I'm writing in my living room today. Don't mind the messes behind me. I'm not going to clean it up for this video. This is what my life looks like. I have 3 kids, and life's messy, and aesthetics are just aesthetics. And like, I always wonder, do the people that's houses look like that actually have kids, 1, do they like shove everything to the corner when they're taking videos so you never see it in the background? 2, where are the toys? Because my kids can't be the only kids that like toys and that are like everywhere. Like, there's an entire play kitchen over here behind me. You can see the shelf, and then the kitchen's back over there. And it's like, that's what it looks like. And there's stuff on my counters. And I just always wonder, like, is the stuff shoved away? Do they have better organization systems? Do their kids not have that many toys? Do their kids just not play with a lot of toys? Do they have a playroom and so it's not out in the open? Not to mention the fact that my kids are living room kids. I don't remember being a living room kid. I was like a bedroom kid. So I like spent my time in my bedroom growing up. My kids like to be out in the living room with us. They spend some time in their rooms, but they love to be in the living room. So, or just out, like over here, you can see Legos. So that's just what it is. Anyway, I got myself distracted. So I've been breaking it up into 20-minute sessions. It is currently 9:45, so I wrote for 20 minutes and I got 841 words written, which is pretty good. I got a good jump on this chapter, probably about halfway through the chapter. So my goal is to do another 20-minute session to finish the chapter. And yeah, I feel like instead of breaking it down by like I'm looking for a specific word count, I've really been breaking it down by chapter. So I have looked at it and like, okay, I'm going to write this chapter. And my chapters right now are fairly short because at this point they're not really short. Like they're, 1,000+ words, but relatively, I don't know, how long is a chapter typically? I think they can be whatever you want it to be. But I've been breaking it down, I think, by scenes more. And there's definitely some that need work. And I don't know. I am just doing something a little differently because I feel like in the past I'm just aiming for that daily word count instead. And so then I would end really like abruptly, or I would end in the middle of a scene or whatever. Whereas this time I'm really looking for solid breaks of, I wrote this chapter, I wrote this scene, I'm feeling really good about it. No matter where the word count is, that's where I'm ending it. So that's where I'm at. And I'm going to do another 20-minute session and try to get my word count in this morning again, like I've been doing, because I feel like it's been working really well to get my writing done in the morning and then work the rest of the day on shop stuff because, the orders never end. And that's what I've been working on most of my days. And then, mom mode turns back on when I have to go pick up my kids. So I don't want to write in the evenings because either I have the kids home or it's like after they go to bed and I'm ready to decompress. I'm ready to journal. I'm ready to watch something. I'm ready to read my book, which I have been rereading the Harry Potter series. So I'm on Goblet of Fire, which is not my favorite. I know a lot of people love Goblet of Fire, but it's just not my favorite. I am just under 100 pages left to go, and I really want to finish it today, which I've read this book several times. Like this is by no means my first time reading the book. It has just been years. In the past, every time I had a kid and we were going through feedings and, a lot of rocking in the rocking chair, I would reread the Harry Potter book every time. So I have 3 kids. So I read it for the very first time years and years and years ago. And then I reread them, and then I would reread them with each kid. So I have 3 kids, so I read them 3 times. So I've probably read the Harry Potter series like 5 times, maybe 6, but definitely 5. This could be my 6th time reading through it. But my son is reading Harry Potter for the very first time. He's technically seen the movies because when my daughter read them, and when she finished a book, we would watch the movie. But she had to finish the book before we watched the movie because I wanted her to get the book experience first. So he started reading them for the first time. He's on Prisoner of Azkaban, so I'm ahead of him because I can't read at his pace. Like I would lose my mind. But I am almost done with this, so I'm like, I really want to sit down and just finish it because I'm that close to the end of it. So I'm resisting the urge to do that, but I'm probably going to try to finish it later today. I know that's not writing related, but that's a distraction that I have. That's kind of keeping me from wanting to do too much writing because I really just want to sit down and read my book. And yeah, but I'm trying to be good and continue to get my words in. And it is going well. It's today is sunny, which is why you see the reflection, and the lighting is a lot better, although I am in a different room. So the lighting is different than in my office. But it's sunny, so I'm not such a bleh mood today because I don't know. I like cloudy days actually, but there's something about yesterday. I don't know what it was. There was just something. So anyway, I am about halfway through what I want to accomplish today. So I should stop stalling and finish so that I can move on with my day and take care of the other things I need to take care of, namely working on orders. So yeah, but I thought we would do a little quick check-in in between. I'll probably do a check-in at the end of where I'm at so that you know where I'm at. So anyway, that's what I got for now. And I'm hoping to get another, 841 words, hopefully maybe 900, and get another good day of writing. It'd be great if I got even a little bit more. I was contemplating kind of going back to the chapter that I wrote yesterday and kind of taking a look at it because there's some things that I didn't love about it that have been kind of bugging me, but I'm not sure how I'd fix it. And I feel like that would be turning too much into editor me than writing. So maybe I won't do that. I don't know. I just need to get the words on the page. That's what we're aiming for. Get the words on the page. Okay, so just did another 20-minute session. Ended up being more like 25 because I was like real close to the end. But I wrote an additional 1,264 words, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, which gives me a grand total word count for today of 2,104 and brings my my new total for my document, my story, up to 24,464. So I am so close to the halfway point, with my aim being obviously 50,000 words. So I feel really good about that. Actually, this is one of my highest counts. Let's see. Like single day word counts. I've only had one day where I wrote more, which was like I wrote on the 9th, on day 9, 2,638. And today I wrote 2,105, but it's still real good. I feel really good about it. And I actually really like how this came together. So it was kind of as part of my story, there had been a conflict, and this kind of was like escalating into forcing the characters of several different fights into having to kind of make up and deal with some of the things that might have been said that some of them may regret. But I feel really good about it. I feel really good about how this chapter came together. And yeah. So I think I had maybe I need to write in the living room more often. Maybe I need to come out here and write on my laptop instead of my desktop in my office. It's not like I get like super distracted in there, but I don't know. Or maybe it was just a good chapter. But anyway, that is all the writing I'm going to do today. Because now I am going to, go put the sheets back on my bed because my laundry's done, unfortunately. I hate making the bed. And then go from there as far as what I'm going to do for the day. And I'm going to do my end of the day journaling in my notebook, my daily wrap up, and set up tomorrow's page. And then probably need to get to work on orders. So yeah, so that is my update for today. And today is, like I said, the 14th. So it is day 14 and I feel really good about it. So I'm feeling very, very positive. Yay. Okay, as you can see, I don't know if you can hear this airplane, but suddenly there's an airplane going by. It's kind of loud. As you can see, I'm back in my office. I have already written. I had filled out my journal and decided I was just going to go ahead and write. I have a little bit of a headache today. So I decided to kind of go easy. I kind of wrote the first half of this chapter. I wrote in this session, a 20-minute session, I wrote 874 words, which seems to be kind of my average for 20-minute sessions. And I think that's all I'm going to do today. That got me to 25,344 words, which if I'm aiming for 50,000, I'm officially over the halfway point at 344 words. I could try to push on and try to get a little bit farther ahead, but I just don't think it's going to happen today. I'm feeling really, besides the headache, I'm feeling so burned out, like real bad burned out. So I don't think it's going to happen, which is fine. And yeah, at least I got some words down, right? That was my aim today. I don't really have much to say. Like I said, I have a headache, feeling burnout, feeling tired. It is Friday, so yay. I don't know how much that filming I will do over the next 2 days with the weekend and my family all being home. But I'll probably close it out on Monday and kind of show you my... Suddenly my throat is like, no, I'm not going to function. I will probably film at least on Monday again and talk about how the weekend went and my weekly wrap up as well. Not that you'll know because it'll be like right after this, but just, I guess, FYI. But yeah, it's been a fairly good week. Yesterday was a really good day of word count. And today was less, but I'm okay with it. I feel okay with it. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do for today. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm officially over the halfway point, like I said, and I will take that as a win. Okay, it is Monday. I look rough. Don't mind the bangs and the hair. It is raining, which is why it's also darker right now. So it is what it is. I can't really do much about the light outside or the light. I mean, I can do something about the light inside, but then it gets all weird shadowy when I turn it on because it's like directly above me. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I thought that before I close out this video, I would give you a recap of the weekend because I did not film anything. Saturday, I did not write at all. I kind of talked through kind of the writing goals and all that with my husband. And I think I just needed a break. I was a little burnt out and I needed a break. So I didn't write, and I think it's okay. Now, by Sunday, I was like, should I have taken the break? I don't know. I'm also trying to keep in mind that this this goal of 50,000 it's not a made up goal, but it's a made up goal. I mean, my goal is really just to write a rough draft. Whether I completely finish the rough draft in the month of November is yet to be seen. But I don't have to hit 50,000. The goal is just to write. So I'm trying to keep that in mind, that it's like if I don't hit 50,000, but I still have a pretty solid either rough draft, start of a rough draft, or whatever I feel like it is, like I've achieved and I've won the month. So there's that. Anyway, so I didn't write on Saturday. On Sunday, yesterday, I did write. I wrote 2,405 words. So I had a pretty good catch-up day. I didn't 100% like catch up. Man, my hair is rough. I didn't 100% catch up to like where the word count would be if I was staying even with my 50,000 goal. But it was a good day. So I filled out my weekly wrap up yesterday. I've already written some today. I've gotten started on the day. And for the week total, I wrote 10,670 words. And then I basically went through my weekly wrap up and I talked about my feelings for the week, which overall was pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. And then I wrote about what was working. So what parts of my story was I feeling really good about? I wrote about what's not working and how can I kind of shift that. Story problems that I'm working through, which there's some. And then my intentions for next week. So I did that yesterday, and yeah, and now I am still just heading on. But that is my week of writing. I don't know how thrilling this will be once I get it all cut together. But that's how I do it. So a lot of this month is just about balancing what you do normally with adding the writing in and making it a priority if it's something that you really want to do. And I don't always do it well, and I do get burnt out. And so I'm trying to give myself a little bit of grace that sometimes when you need to rest, you need to rest. And if I don't hit 50,000 words, that's just, it's whatever, you know? So far in my book, I've written 28,000 words, and I can feel proud of that. So, whether I'll hit the 50,000, whether I'll get more words, whether I'll get less words this month, I don't think it really matters. I think it's the point of that act of actually getting out there and writing and working on some of these things that sometimes we tend to put off, especially if this isn't our full-time thing. So yeah, that was my week. So I don't think I have anything else. If you have any comments, questions, by no means a professional at this. I've never actually published a book, I should say. There is some that I'm working on that I hope to publish one day. Maybe this one. But I'm not there yet. But every year I've done NaNoWriMo for years now, and every year I learn a little bit more. I learn a little bit more about myself, about writing, about what I'm doing, and that's kind of just part of the process. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking because I do want to get in more words today, and I have orders to cut. So thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.